Hi.
Hi.
I'm here talking today with Rosemarie Rae, our CFO for the Berkeley campus, Chief Financial Officer. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Thank you for sitting down with me today
Always
to
a
share
pleasure.
your leadership story.
Yeah.
Can we start with a quick synopsis of your career path and how long you've been at the University of California?
Okay, I've been here for about 15 months, and I always like to say that it took me 30 years to get here. So this is my career goal, is to be at Berkeley and to be part of something that is so important for California and our country and the world. We're one of the last places that really fosters leadership, and people are here because they want to change the world. And so it's very fulfilling and humbling for me to be part of this important community. So I've had kind of a windy path. I started my career in public accounting and spent many years in the for-profit sector. And about 12 years ago, hung up my spurs and went into the nonprofit sector and worked for many years at Volunteers of America, which is a very large, decentralized social services network across the country. And I've also worked with the National Trust for Historic Preservation.
Interesting.
It's very helpful to me as I came to Berkeley to help prepare campus for how we're going to take care of our beautiful campus with lots of infrastructure needs.
So how has your varied experience in the private sector and the nonprofit sector prepared you or helped you working here?
I think it's very difficult not to have that experience because we don't have a single source of funding anymore, or a couple of sources of funding. So knowing how to put together different kinds of funding to make things work is really important. We are finding, I think, that we're entrepreneurial by style here, and how do you foster good entrepreneurial habits for campus and make things easier and improve the life of our students and our faculty. So it's been very helpful to me to have both sides.
Great.
Also to understand the importance of consensus and community that I think I get from my nonprofit experience. We do things collectively here. And that's been part of my career that I've really enjoyed and was important to me in coming to Berkeley.
Okay, great. What defining moments have you had in your life or your career that have really shaped you?
I had a wonderful mentor while I was at Volunteers of America, a woman named Frances Hesselbein, who was 90 when I knew her, and had been the CEO of Girl Scouts for many, many years, 35 years of her career. And she taught me a lot about what it meant to be a leader as a woman, and that it didn't have to look the same way as male leadership. And she taught me a lot about courage, and I would say that was an important part of my career and sort of my evolution as a leader.
So how have you embraced that experience of having Frances as your mentor in mentoring others?
Well, the most rewarding thing that I do now is mentor and network and connect. I would say I'm a natural storyteller and connector. I think my job as Berkeley CFO is to look for patterns, take complex financial statements and spreadsheets and analysis, and create a narrative that folks can understand that helps drive decision making for campus. So I try to pass along what Frances taught me about how we can do that for each other. I mentor a number of students and sort of more junior staff along the way. I want them to stay at Berkeley. I want them to stay in higher education and continue to contribute to what's so great about Berkeley.
So if you were to sit down today with a young new staff member, what advice would you give them in starting their careers?
Patience. It's we're a very large, complex, complicated organization that does many things, public service and research and education. And it takes time to master any position here at Berkeley. You and I have talked about this before, but I can remember in the first 3 or 4 months that I was at Berkeley that I wasn't sure what I should be paying attention to because there's so many things that happen here at Berkeley. So I think it takes about a year to get your sea legs here at Berkeley and to be patient with yourself and with your coworkers that you're welcoming to the Berkeley community.
Well, it's interesting because I started here almost 15 years ago, and some of the first advice I got was to be patient and take the long view. So 15 years later, that's still really important advice for people coming to work here.
I think so.
Thank you. What do you find the most rewarding and the most challenging aspects of your role here?
I feel honored to be at Berkeley at this time. I think that we're in a deep period of change at Berkeley, and that is exciting. You and I are both here in a period of time in which we're recasting our relevancy and thinking about the way we educate and what our contributions are to research and how we contribute to the state. And we are going to look different than we look today, 10 years from now. And it's very exciting to be part of where we are in our time here at Berkeley. Most challenging, we do love to have meetings. So that has been something that has been a little bit of an adjustment for me. And that's a small adjustment to make, I think. The folks that work here are extremely talented. I think I was sharing with you, I have never worked with a group of folks that are more invested in our mission, more intelligent, more engaging. The magic of Berkeley are the students and the staff and the faculty that work here, and it keeps you on your toes.
So how do you help all our various constituencies feel optimistic about our future given the financial difficulties we've been facing?
So, no doubt about it, we have been dealing with financial difficulties for the last 2 or 3 years. I think the optimism for me comes from the fact that we have everything that we need here at Berkeley to change our course. We're excited to be working on a set of strategic initiatives that will adjust our budgetary position and can really change our course over the next few years. So I think we're all going to have to be prepared to work hard and perhaps revisit the way we've just always gotten things done. But there is a path forward, and it's a short path. I think it's 2 or 3 years away. For myself, and I think for many people who work here, it's the uncertainty. And so it's having a plan, having some certainty, executing on the plan together that fills me with optimism.
As you look back, what core beliefs have guided your choices and actions?
Core beliefs. I always try to act with integrity. I always try to value everyone that surrounds me. I try to practice a sense of humor. I don't take myself very seriously, and I try to have fun at work and maintain a positive environment. I say this a lot. I genuinely care about my team. I know them. I know their families. I know what motivates them. I know what their concerns are. And I'm getting to know campus, and I do care about the folks that work here, and I really care about our students and the experience that they're having here. So I think that's what gets me right here is that.
What challenges keep you up at night, and what excites you that gets you up in the morning?
What keeps me up at night? Our needs outstrip our resources. Mm-hmm. So there are 20 things I'd like to be doing, and I only have the resources to execute against 15 of those. And I think you could ask anybody who works here, sure, and they would share the same. There are so many exciting things we could do. There are so many things we need to do, and just being able to apply the right level of resources to that. And then prioritizing. What are we going to work on first? What is the staging of how we're going to tackle these problems? I can't wait to come to work in the morning.
I always feel that energy.
I know.
From you.
We're both early risers,
mm-hmm,
so if you ever want to catch me, the best time to catch me is at 7 o'clock at my desk, because it's a really special time for me in the morning, is to really think about all of the opportunities that we have and sort of plot those out against the course of my day.
So would you say you use that as reflection time, planning time?
I use it for both. When 9 o'clock hits, I'm usually in meetings, mm-hmm, so it is my time of reflection, and I spend a little bit of that time feeling very grateful to be here and to be part of an extraordinary leadership team. The opportunity of working with the Chancellor and the Provost and the Vice Chancellor of Administration and Finance is really an honor.
What have been the biggest lessons learned for you in your career?
Well, they change throughout your career. I think in the beginning, when I was in a younger stage of my career, I was nervous about making mistakes. And now I've gained greater comfort with the fact that we are all going to make mistakes, mm-hmm, and spending more time reflecting on what I learned, mm-hmm, in that, rather than dedicating a lot of energy into I don't want to make a mistake. So that's been a great lesson for me. Relationships, and understanding the value of trust. Because when you make the mistake, if you know me and you trust me, you're going to give me a pass. You'll know that my intentions are good. If you do not trust me, you're not going to give me the same benefit. So it's really building trust with my colleagues and with the faculty and students that I think is what I'm focused on.
When your career is complete, and I hope that's not anytime soon, what do you want people to
How
remember?
How old do I
look? Young, very young. What do you want people to remember you for? What are you most proud of?
I hope that they can look back on the time in which I was at Berkeley as someone who could assist and be part of a leadership team that had the courage to make change, positive change, was willing to do the hard things that led us to a very brilliant future.
Nice. What would you like to share, if anything else, with our Berkeley staff audience?
I think my gratitude for everyone's willingness to work with me, welcome me, offer friendship, offer mentorship. This is an incredible community, and it's not a community that you leave at the end of your workday. You and I run into each other in restaurants, and I see folks at the grocery store, and that really fills me up.
Well, personally, I'd say I'm very happy you're part of our community.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, you're welcome.